Patrik, just your thoughts on what you got accomplished today before the deadline.
Well, I think coming in here to Vancouver, I think talking to Jim, taking our time and evaluate the roster. I think we were able here yesterday to get a young defenseman in Travis Dermott in here, and obviously I want to thank Tyler Mott for what he have done for the Canucks and the city of Vancouver as well over his years here, and I believe Tyler is a good player. But at this point, we felt we couldn't come to an agreement there, and I wished him all the best, and we thought we were able to get some return there in the fourth-round pick.
You also claimed Brad Richardson on waivers. What do you expect him to bring here?
Correct. I think with the injuries we had here, we weren't really sure if we were going to be able to get players in return in some of the deals that we were looking at, and we just Brad has been here before, a versatile player. The leadership he has, I thought it would help us short term here. With his, as I said, the versatility there, playing center and wing and PK. So he's excited to come back here to Vancouver again.
In the case of Mott, I know many expected him to move because it was a pending UFA. It went right down to the wire. It seemed, was that more a case of still trying to get a contract with him done, if it was possible, or potentially to see if there was more available than a fourth-round pick?
Yeah, a little bit of both, I would say. But I think for myself, talking to a lot of teams and kind of feeling out, the whole process here of feeling out what other teams are thinking about our players and our group here, and that's where he ended up with a fourth-round pick there for Tyler.
You mentioned you're not sure about players coming back. Can you give us any kind of an update on Nils Höglander?
He's still getting evaluated, and I don't think he's gonna. I'm not sure he's gonna go on the road trip. So I don't have any really update on him.
How would you characterize the market for Tyler Mott? How much interest was there in Tyler around the league?
I would, the interest, I guess, was a fourth-round pick, but there was some teams checking in on him.
What's the value of that pick in 2023 that's supposed to be a better draft, perhaps, than the one coming up? Yeah,
we felt that the draft in the 23 was a little bit better, and hard to say about the value now, but it does give us a little bit more of ammunition moving forward here if we, want to do something. Gives us time here to check this draft out, if there's something we want to move up in the draft, or if there's another player that comes available here now when we created some cap space.
How close were you guys on something bigger, whether that would have been moving someone out or bringing someone in?
I don't want to talk about any specifics here.
With that in mind, then, where do you see this team? What does this team need to do? What does it need to change, given the fact that it's been struggling lately? We've seen some good stuff, but the consistency seems to be a problem.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing here, the consistency of doing things the right way every day. It's not about going into streaks. I think all good teams are having a consistent level, how you play night in and night out, what you do every day in practice, how you prepare yourself and being a pro. With some young players that going through the stage of establish himself to good players. So hopefully here with the created cap space and as I said, get Travis Dermott in here, hopefully get healthy here and continue to push.
You've talked about evaluating this roster since coming in. How much of a benefit will it be to continue to evaluate some of those players that you may have to make decisions on down the stretch here? Obviously, you had to make a decision on Tyler as a pending UFA, but you have other players that aren't in that situation that you could still decide to move potentially in the summer.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, there's still, my message hasn't changed to the staff here. I think our focus is on the day-to-day, preparing for the next game. I think there's a great opportunity here for players to take on bigger roles and more minutes, and we'll see where that goes, and hopefully get some of the injured guys back here.
Patrik, philosophically, did you view your team as being in a position where they could afford to lose Tyler Mott for nothing?
Obviously, I'm talking to my staff on different scenarios, and I felt that, when it was clear for us that we couldn't resign him, we felt that we should try to maximize our return at this point.
How close did you come to resigning him? Ultimately, were the sides relatively far apart?
I don't want to comment on that.
What about Besser and Garland, two other names that we heard a lot in the 48 hours leading up to this? Was there much interest in either player? I couldn't tell you if there was much of interest or not, but I'm happy to have those players here. I think they're good players. So I was talking to a lot of teams, but not specific on any of our players that we control for more than those UFA guys.
Patrik, where do you stand? There's 18 games to go. You're not mathematically eliminated, but the homestand has made it. The math isn't great for the hockey club. What about the idea of bringing in a Jack Rathbone or a Will Lockwood or anybody else from Abbotsford? Do you see an opportunity for some of your younger players to get a look in the NHL before the season's done?
Absolutely. I think those are the discussion I have all the time with my staff, and trying to put the best players on the ice to give us the best chance to win every night. Definitely Rathbone and Lockwood, as you mentioned. I hope they're going to be ready to fight for some games and get a chance to show us what they have. They've been taking steps down in Abbotsford, and Abbotsford has been playing good hockey with them in a leading role there. So hopefully we get a chance to see them up here.
On the flip side, did you paper anyone down to preserve their eligibility for the Calder Cup playoffs?
Yes, we did. Put Colson. So he's coming back up here, but the purpose of the Calder Cup playoffs.
And what was the thinking in that move in terms of perhaps giving him an opportunity to excel at a lower level? But what went into deciding to give him a shot to play potentially at a lower level once this regular season concludes?
Well, again, I'm a big believer that young players, they're going to go through a playoff, whatever level you are playing. I think it's important to be in that tougher environment, and especially for Carlson being a first-year guy here. I think it's critical for him to be more of a leader, play first power play, top minutes, playing in the harder games there. So I told him here this morning, and I think that's just part of the development path.
Patrik, this is obviously your first trade deadline as GM, but how did you assess what the market had to offer in terms of prices and players who were available?
Well, I think that those last couple of days here, it's in the market, it's hard to predict. I mean, you can see high prices, and you see the retained salaries. I think this is, the parity of the league. I think there's a lot of teams that the window is short, and they're trying to go for it.
Were you at all undecided on your deadline strategy prior to this losing streak by the team?
No, excuse me. I as I said earlier, and Jim has said it too. I think our vision and our goal is more than just the next couple of weeks. I think we, as we said, we want to create some cap space. We want to get younger. I think we accomplished that here. This would just continue to put us in a better situation for the summer.
You talk about Luke Shannon's name that a lot of people thought might get moved. Can you talk
I have a lot of respect for Luke Shen as a player and more as a person, and what he means to this club off the ice in terms of being a winner, the culture, the commitment he has to be a pro every day. For me, it's extremely important for this young group to have a guy like Luke Shen here around.
Do you have any theories, I know Bruce is the coach, but just from your perspective, slow starts on this homestand, but really all season, have played a huge role in chasing the game, getting behind, and not being able to, like, any theories on why this team doesn't seem ready from the drop of the puck?
I don't know. I don't. I think it's something we need to be better at, for sure.
How different is the team going to look next year from the group you have right now?
Well, I think we have 2 UFAs, well, 3 including Richardson, so it's hard to answer that question.
Patrick, you've mentioned getting younger and getting more affordable. You shed $1.5 million in cap space, all told, at least for next year, with the moves you made today. Would you have liked to have ducked or created more flexibility for your group in an ideal world?
That's a good question. I mean, it's just not only to create cap space. You want to make sure that you're looking at the bigger picture, how you built the team and what you want to accomplish, and I think that was just we felt that we picked up a younger defenseman in Travis, and obviously half of the salary from Hamonic there. So that was you can do both things there. But I also think that we looking in every way to improve our hockey club.
Yaroslav Halak, a lot of speculation about him. He obviously had the no movement clause, and he's got the performance bonuses. What can you tell us about the last 24 hours in regard to him?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, you, as you said, that's a big factor, for sure. And Yaro is a pro. He's a good goalie. He's been a good goalie in this league for a long time. And that was his contract.
What was he asked to weigh?
No comment on that.
Patrick, you have one of the top scoring players in the NCAA right now with Hayden McDonough. Is there going to be a push from the Canucks to get him signed at the end of his season?
I hope so. He's an intriguing player, and the relationship or development staff have with Aiden and his process in Northeastern over the last couple of years. In the end of the day, I think it's important for every player to make a decision if they are ready or not. If he's ready to come out, I would be very excited and to have him here in the organization and continue to work with him.
We saw a lot of RFAs get signed today as well. Is there any progress towards a contract with Brock Besser?
No, I've been talking to his agent, and we haven't made any progress there.
You guys have talked a lot about needing to find some free agents from the NCAA or from Europe. Do you have any players you think you might be able to add in the next 6 months or so?
Not at this point, so we'll see.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.